The light hits first. Not a flash, a pressure, white swallowing everything, even through closed eyes. You feel it in your bones before you hear anything, before your brain has time to decide whether this is happening. Then the sound arrives. A crack so deep, it feels like the ground itself just snapped. Windows explode inward. The air punches you hard enough to tear the breath clean out of your chest. You don't scream. There's no air left to push one out. Your ears ring instantly, shrill and constant, like something inside your head just broke and won't stop vibrating. Your mouth fills with the taste of metal, copper, burnt dust. When you open your eyes, the room is wrong. Not destroyed, displaced. Furniture shifted, glass everywhere. A fine grey powder already drifting down from the ceiling, slow and deliberate, like snow that knows where it's going. You don't know it yet, but that matters. Before we go any further, like, comment, subscribe, and tell me where you're listening from and what time it is right now. Also, tell me honestly, if this just happened, would you still think you had time to figure it out? Alright, back in. You get to your feet. Your legs feel heavy, delayed, like they're moving through something thick and invisible. Your head pounds in uneven pulses. You blink hard, waiting for clarity that doesn't come. Outside, there are no sirens, no shouting, no chaos, just a low, distant roar that fades into nothing. You move toward the window and stop halfway. There's no glass left anyway. The street beyond looks muted, colors dulled, shapes softened, dust drifting in every direction with no wind strong enough to explain it. The silence is wrong. Not calm, vacant. Your phone won't turn on. You tap it harder than necessary. The screen stays black. No bars. No alert you're late to. You remember the rules. Stay inside. Seal the room. Avoid exposure. You shut the door. Stuff towels into the cracks. Tape vents like you're wrapping a wound. Every movement kicks up more dust. You try not to breathe deeply while you work. The air already feels different. Not thin, heavy, used. You sit. Minutes pass. All longer. Time stretches thin and unreliable. Your heart thuds too fast for no reason, then slows abruptly like it forgot what it was doing. Your throat feels dry. When you swallow, it scratches. When you inhale, the breath doesn't satisfy. It's like drinking water that never reaches your stomach. Outside, a car alarm starts. It cuts off mid-wail. You cough. Once. Sharp. Dry. It burns your chest in a way coughing shouldn't. You clear your throat and try again gentler. Your gums ache. Subtle at first. A soreness you'd normally ignore. You run your tongue along your teeth and pause. The tissue feels swollen, irritated, like you burned it on hot coffee. You spit. Pink foam blooms in the sink. Great. Your skin itches under your clothes. Not a rash, not an allergy, just overstimulated. Wrong. You roll up your sleeves and notice faint redness creeping across your arms in uneven patches. Your hands shake. Not fear, something deeper. Your fingers tremble when you try to hold them still, like the signal from your brain is arriving late. You sit back down. Your breathing is louder now. You can hear it filling the room. In, out, shallow, ineffective. You think about opening a window. You don't. Outside, something thumps once, heavy, like a body hitting metal. Then, nothing. Your head starts to hurt. Pressure behind the eyes. Dull at first, then pulsing in time with your heart. Light hurts now. You close your eyes and see floating grey shapes that look uncomfortably like the dust still settling everywhere. Your stomach turns. You barely make it to the sink. The vomiting is sudden and violent, your body convulsing like it's trying to eject something it doesn't understand yet. Bile burns your throat. There's blood this time. Not much. Just enough. Your heart stutters. Fast. Slow. Fast again. You press 2 fingers to your neck and lose count halfway through. Your body can't regulate anymore. Your hands smell strange. Metallic. Sour. Washing them doesn't help. You look in the mirror. Your face is flushed in patches. Eyes bloodshot. Pupils uneven. You stare longer than you should, waiting for it to make sense. It doesn't. Hair comes loose in your fingers when you rub your scalp. Not clumps yet. Enough to notice. Your thoughts slip. You walk into a room and forget why. You pick something up and put it down somewhere else without realizing. You can't remember the last time you urinated. When you finally try, barely anything comes out. Dark. Burning. Outside, the dust has stopped falling. That doesn't help. Your chest tightens. Each breath stops halfway down. You yawn reflexively, trying to pull in more air. Nothing changes. That's when the thought lands fully formed. This isn't shock. This isn't stress. This is radiation sickness. You followed the rules. You stayed inside. And your body is still falling apart. You hear knocking. At first you think it's part of the ringing in your ears. Another hallucination sliding in sideways. But it happens again, louder. Real. Wood rattling in its frame. Someone is at your door. Your body reacts before your brain does. Heart rate spikes. Breath catches. Muscles tense even though you don't stand. The rules come back instantly. Don't open it. Don't let air in. Don't let people in. They were very clear about that part. The knocking turns frantic. A voice pushes through the door, hoarse and cracking. They're coughing. Deep, wet coughs that end in choking gasps. You hear something hit the door, hard, like a shoulder or a forehead. Then another impact. Then scraping downward. They say something. You can't make it out through the pounding in your head, but the tone is unmistakable. Panic stripped bare. Someone who knows they're running out of time. You don't move. Your heart is hammering again, irregular and wrong. Every instinct screams to help. Every instruction screams not to. The knocking slows, turns into dragging, then stops completely. You sit there longer than you should, staring at the door, listening to your own breathing fill the space where another human just disappeared. You don't know if you made the right choice. You only know you're still alive. Morning comes quietly. Too quietly. Light filters through the dust-coated window in a pale, sickly wash. The world looks almost peaceful, frozen in place. For a moment, just a moment, you feel better. The nausea eases. Your breathing steadies. Your heart behaves itself. Hope slips in through the crack. You sit up without collapsing. You drink a full glass of water and keep it down. You even manage to stand long enough to wash your face, wipe the dried blood from your mouth. You look almost normal in the mirror. Your body lets you believe it. This phase has a name. You don't know it yet, but doctors do. They call it the latent period. It's the calm stretch where symptoms fade and people convince themselves they're going to be fine. While the damage keeps multiplying underneath, you decide to move around. Bad idea. You drop something and don't realize it. You're staring at your empty hand, confused about what's missing when you notice the object on the floor. You bend to pick it up and nearly fall over. Your coordination is off. Not dizzy, not drunk, disconnected. You misjudge distance, miss handles, clip your shoulder on door frames you've walked past 1,000 times. Walking feels like guessing. Your hands shake harder now. Fine tremors that make holding anything frustrating. Your muscles twitch when you're not telling them to. Your jaw tightens and releases on its own. Words start coming out wrong. You mean to say one thing and another slips out instead. You forget what you're saying halfway through a sentence. You lose words you've used your entire life. Radiation doesn't just burn. It scrambles. Your phone lights up. Just for a second. Long enough for a notification to slide across the screen before it dies again. Remain indoors. Remove outer clothing. Wash exposed skin. Avoid unnecessary contact. You stare at it. You've already done all of that. Days ago. You laugh once. Short, dry, painful. And it turns into coughing halfway through. Blood comes up again, heavier this time. The instructions aren't wrong. They're just late. Outside, something breaks. Glass, somewhere close. You wait for voices to follow. Shouting, calling, chaos. But nothing comes. Whatever happened out there ended quietly. You look out the window again. Bodies are starting to appear. One in the street below, curled on their side like they sat down and forgot to get back up. No visible injuries. No fire. No rubble. Another farther down the block. Another near the intersection. You realize something terrible. Most people survived the blast. They're dying now. Quietly. Without spectacle. Without warning. Without anyone around to notice. Your breathing grows louder in your ears. Each inhale feels like effort now, deliberate instead of automatic. You find yourself holding your breath without meaning to, then gasping when your body forces you to inhale again. Your chest aches. Deep, internal. Like something is inflamed and swelling where it shouldn't. You sit down because standing feels optional now. Your skin is bruising faster. Dark blooms spreading under the surface without impact or cause. You press on one and it hurts in a dull, wrong way. Your blood isn't clotting properly anymore. You cut yourself on a piece of broken glass you didn't see, and it keeps bleeding, slow and steady, no matter how long you press on it. Your immune system is failing. Your bone marrow is failing. Your body is running out of replacements. You feel cold. Not shivering yet. Just cold from the inside out. Your hands feel distant. Your feet are numb. When you stand, your legs respond late, like they're deciding whether it's worth the effort. You collapse instead. The floor is hard, but pain has flattened into pressure. Everything is pressure now. Chest, skull, abdomen. A constant internal weight that makes breathing shallow and unsatisfying. Outside, the world stays silent. No help is coming. And somewhere in the back of your mind, the thought forms slowly, reluctantly, undeniably. This isn't going to stop. You wake up on the floor again. This time, you don't try to stand right away. Your body feels heavier, denser, like gravity has been turned up slightly overnight. Your cheek is pressed against something cold and gritty, and your mouth tastes like iron. Your gums are bleeding, not from injury, from failure. They feel spongy, swollen, pulling away from your teeth. When your tongue brushes one, it shifts, just a little, enough to make your stomach flip. Your heart is slower now, not calm, irregular. Long pauses between beats that make you hold your breath without meaning to, waiting to see if the next one arrives. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it takes too long. Your skin looks wrong, pale in some places, gray in others. Bruises overlap, bleeding into each other in dark, ugly blooms. When you press a thumb into your arm, the indentation lingers before slowly filling back in. You stop shivering. That should feel like relief. It doesn't. Your core temperature is dropping now. Your hands feel distant, clumsy, like they belong to someone else. Your feet are numb. You drag yourself upright, using furniture, moving slowly because fast movements make the room spin. Your breathing has changed again. Short, wet, inefficient. Each inhale feels like it stops halfway down your lungs. Each exhale rattles, bubbling softly, like air pushing through fluid. Your lungs are filling, not dramatically, quietly. Fluids seeping into spaces meant for air, turning every breath into work. You cough, and nothing comes up. Your chest burns with every effort. You're bleeding from places that shouldn't bleed. Your nose, your gums, small cracks in your skin that won't clot. The blood looks thin, diluted, like it's forgotten what it's supposed to do. Your bone marrow is gone. Your body isn't making what it needs anymore. Your vision tunnels again. This time, it doesn't come back all the way. The edges stay dark. The center flickers and swims. You try to focus on something solid, a door frame, a crack in the wall, and it refuses to stay still. Your thoughts slow. Not confusion, wait. You forget to be afraid, because fear takes energy you don't have left. You forget to plan, because planning assumes there's still time. Your mouth is dry and cracked. Your tongue feels thick, useless. Swallowing hurts. Speaking feels impossible, even though no one is there to hear you anyway. Outside, the world remains unchanged. Bodies still in the street. Dust settled where it fell. No movement. No voices. No rescue. You curl inward on the floor without deciding to. Your body does it on its own, conserving heat, conserving motion, conserving whatever little time remains. Your hands rest against your chest. Your jaw slackens. The pauses between heartbeats stretch longer now. One. Too long. Another. Your final breath doesn't feel dramatic. It feels unfinished. They will call this acute radiation syndrome, a clean phrase for something profoundly unclean. Your body will be one of many. Not unique, not remarkable. Another data point used later to explain exposure levels and safety margins once the danger has passed. The world will continue. Power will return somewhere. Air will clear somewhere else. People will argue about responsibility while standing very far away from what actually happened to you. And if you're still listening, if you made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, and tell me honestly, would you have realized what was happening in time to leave? Or would you still be waiting for the symptoms to pass? And what moment in history should we survive next? Because some disasters don't explode. They erase you. Slowly, quietly, from the inside out.